I read all the medical journals I could get my hands on. I consulted with medical doctors, organic chemists, and registered dietitians, and finally, I discovered something interesting. A group of 6 compounds that not only were shown to cool the chronic vein inflammation, but also block the penis-killing protein that's turning your penis into a brittle block of cement. So I searched for a way to get a hold of these 6 erection amplifiers so I could put them to work in my body. I ordered up some of the natural erection amplifying compounds, fully expecting my manhood to take off like a heat-seeking missile. But instead, I got the same weak, stunted erections of a man with a crippled cock. Now I was really frustrated. What the hell am I doing wrong? I thought to myself. But then I remembered a conversation I'd had with a registered dietitian I'd consulted with in my search. She specialized in helping people who suffered with arthritis to deal with their symptoms through the use of nutrition-based remedies. And she happened to mention that crucial anti-inflammatory compounds couldn't be taken on their own. They need a delivery vehicle, a series of protective compounds that keep them from being destroyed by the gut. Otherwise, they can't get into the bloodstream where they can have their effect. So I tried something different. I started to find natural sources of the 6 erection amplifying compounds and liquefy them into blended beverages. Liquefying these nutrients was the fastest, most efficient way to deliver them into my bloodstream and end my weak erections and low sensitivity. I wasted no time. I decided to try a quick little concoction that I mixed up in my kitchen in just a few seconds with an inexpensive blender I bought at Walmart. It was a simple elixir I made using a few natural ingredients, a few strange foods that are easy to find, and the power of my pointer finger. And within just a few hours, I had a nice pep in my step and a promising tingle in my southern hemisphere. I felt so good, I invited Sophie to meet me for a drink at a jazz club we both enjoy. So when we get there, she's looking drop-dead gorgeous in this tight little black dress, and we sit down in the back of the club on some cozy-looking sofas. Right around the second set, I happened to catch a glimpse of her cleavage. Suddenly, a familiar rush overcame me. A warm feeling of excitement rushing into my manhood, and kaboom! Let me tell you, if Viagra is a powder keg of erection-amplifying power, what I experienced was like Hiroshima. I looked Sophie in the eyes with a knowing grin. Her eyes gravitate toward my lap, got wide as dinner plates, and had that sparkle she always got when she got excited or happy. I didn't say a word, I just grabbed her hand and rushed both of us back to my place as fast as I could. As soon as the door swung open, we picked up right where we left off, and so did my erection. We had the most intense, passionate sex of our lives. I felt her wiggle and moan beneath me. I felt her dig her fingernails into my back. I felt her pulse with ecstasy as wave after wave of powerful orgasms overcame her. I was so sensitive and responsive that I recovered almost immediately. So we kept going. And finally, late in the night as the moon peeked in through my bedroom window, we collapsed into a deep sleep. Well, over time I developed a whole host of these secret cocktails, just to offer some variety and combine different levels and sources of the 6 erection amplifying nutrients. They were my secret weapon to give me those almost painful, skin-splitting erections I remember having in my teens. My relationship had never been better. I kept catching my girl looking at me with those puppy dog eyes. She was finding little ways to do favors for me, making lots of extra effort to look her best and make me happy. I'd never experienced this before from her, or for many women for that matter. Then something kind of odd happened that led me to the reason I'm talking with you today. One day, while I was at home just enjoying a beer with my friends, I got a text from Sophie. "Olivier, is there any way you could send me your juicing elixirs?" it said. I guess I could. Why?" I asked. It turns out Yvette, the drunk girl who'd called me out on my erection issues, was having a problem with her new boyfriend. A part of me wanted to be stingy. I was still fuming mad at her for calling me out like that. But then I realized 2 things. Number 1, she actually ended up doing me a favor, even though it was a little painful at the time. And number 2, I didn't want any guy to ever go through what I had. So I decided to send off just 2 of the blended beverages I'd developed. Then I just went back to getting buzzed with my friends. In fact, I actually forgot all about it. But 2 days later I got a call from Sophie. "Hey babe, I just want you to talk with Antoine for a second. He's Yvette's new guy and he wanted to talk with you." Before I even knew what was happening, this deep voice gets on the line and starts yammering away at 100 words a second. "You saved me, my friend. I don't know you, but I can't thank you enough." It turns out Antoine had gone through a pretty similar cycle to me. ED drugs stopped working and his dick went into rapid decline. A classic case of crippled cock syndrome. Urologists were shrugging their shoulders at him just like me, and he was at the end of his rope. Now, later on that night, Sophie and I are in bed after one of our marathon lovemaking sessions, and she tells me, "So Antoine actually gave me $100 for your juicing formulas." I tried to refuse the money, but he insisted, so instead of arguing with him, I just took it. And, she followed, he has some friends that want the formulas too. And this was from just 2